What's up guys, this is Sharon. Today we're going to check out Netizen in Cheras. I think this is called Cheras, right? Let's go! So coming straight in from the Lebo Utama Tun Hussein on, which is the main road of Tun Hussein on, right? You turn in directly into the project. And when you turn around, you will go through this entrance. There's a mixture of visitor for the retail, also visitors for the complex. And one more turn will be the one for the residents above. So now we are in the visitors car park. Need to pay, it's fine. Coming in, then you have car parks on the side, all this way. Then you will have concrete imprints, and it's somewhat like an epoxy texture, so that's very nice. Then right behind, for your neighbors, you will have the existing older apartments. Then from the car park directly, you get to access to the residence tower already. But before that, we are now walking along the in-between corridor, because you have a shop lots in the front, right? And they put up the residence tower entrance at the back. So there's this service corridor and you have the washroom. Today will be a collaboration with a brand new friend. And there she is, hi! Known as the Hartana girl. So we just came out from the retail and you can see there is electric shop, KK Mart, Speed Mart, some offices, Mama, appointment basis services like boutiques, dentists and things like that, right? But this is located right next to the main highway that we mentioned just now, and this is traffic light cause congestion. And for information, this is around Batu 10 and Batu 11. So in Cheras is also somewhat like Sarawak, they considered by mile. So this is the 10-11 mile, just in case you need to know. And I like that there is pedestrian walkways around to the bus stop. So right after the traffic light, you actually turn in, then cut through before you turn into the entrance. Okay, and then this is only one way out. So it's pretty smooth. But one point to make is that open car parks are already all fully taken up. Coming in here, what you will see is this monsoon drain right in front. So they built bridges across, and we are now on the second floor of the office space. You can see a lot of renovation ongoing. That's great sign. I like the width of the corridor, and you will have this kind of mesh for handrail, a little bit more industrial look. And this is going to be very convenient, especially if you are going to be staying here for the short term or long term also, because of the train station. Almost one-stop center, you get to solve everything. And right across the street, you can also see the very old existing structures of the address itself. So this is a fresh new breath of innovation to the location. Then from the retail side, we come out, this will be the car park, and you can see cement rendered floorings. Every time when there's a commercial portion along with a residential block, right, in accordance to the strata law, then all spaces must be demarcated out accordingly. So what happened was they passed the entire commercial portion to a management company. So now suddenly that includes as well the visitor car park allocations for the residents. So when you want to visit your friend who stays in Netizen, right, you will need to pay every time you come in. And going through the entrance lobby, you need to go through the security guard as well as a tag for checkpoint. And now we are at the facilities decks lobby. Very well done, and it's actually open ventilated. So you have the NATO windows at the bottom below the fixed panel. You also have a little touch of fixtures, decorative fixtures. Pretty cool. And I love the ramp, so that's very thoughtful. When you move things, it's just friendlier for everyone. This will be the kindergarten, this will be the multi-purpose hall if not mistaken. Then beyond the coverage of the residential blocks, right, usually those are where the enclosed spaces are. Right outside this will be the massive swimming pool. So this will be the kids swimming pool, and you have the overflowing thing here, which I don't like it for a kids wading pool because you just give them opportunities to jump more. And you have all the sharp edges. Yeah, very seldom I see an overflowing treatment for kids wading pool. Why? But the infinity edge is not to the building edge, it's just for aesthetic purposes. And you have people swimming, those are tourists, very obvious. And you have this walkway around. Half of the parapet wall will be glass, so for you to kind of enjoy whatever view. But here you can really see that the surrounding, right, it's not entirely 100% developed just yet. There will be a lot of existing affordable homes around, landed houses around, commercial lots. To go a little bit further in, that will be one of the main commercial zones for the address. Then walking around, I really like the arrangement of the landscape islands. So everything is done in an angular manner, so they make the entire experience a little bit more interesting. But the landscape treatments within islands itself, they didn't cut corners at all. Solid, full landscape treatments. Barbecue pits, you will have one for halal, one non-halal, then creepers all around within the pavilion setting. Also, in order to keep maintenance costs in control, you don't see a lot of areas of turfings. Most of the open areas are this kind of concrete imprints, then they will just paint through them, and you will have expansion joints, and it's just spread across Tower A and Tower B all around. Total number of units, for Tower A there's 536 units of Soho, and for Tower B there's 660 units of service apartments. And this entire development is under a commercial title, so it will be a little bit more flexible in terms of usage. So in terms of short-term stay, long-term stay, whole stay, whatever, right? This will then be the main swimming pool, the lap pool, again with same treatments of the overflowing details, right? And you have people cleaning the pool already. That's nice. Very minimal, very practical. I like it. And next to that, then you will have a children's playground at the corner here in between two blocks. Then along both sides of the swimming pool, you will have a deck area where they use timber-like tiles, some seating area for you to bake yourself. Obviously, Malaysians are not going to do that. That's a ramp, and that gives you access into the gym. And they are internet ready for the gym. It's also a floating gym where you have water, but how to see, cannot see ma. So coming into the gym, you will have your cardio machines on one side facing the open area. Floor tiles, it's not rubber, it's the normal floor tiles. Then you will have some machines here, and they are furnished by this brand called SWA. Then behind those, then you will have the free weights area along with some mirrors. Cool. Right outside the gym, then you will have an outdoor workout space. This is where then you can work out without being in the air-conditioned space, and this is also somewhat elderly friendly for those who prefer fresh air, right? And you will have just more empty spaces. Again, they don't use turfs because it requires a lot of maintenance, but there are some garden units along Tower B, so the buffer for this gives a very nice treatment of privacy to them. So not only they have this treatment, they are also elevated in terms of height. So you can see like that's the edge, so the units are actually higher compared to the facilities deck. And right at the end here, you will have the multi-purpose hall 1. So they have several multi-purpose halls. This one will be a basketball court by default. It's shaded, very nice. Wow, this is so cool. On the other side, then you will have the badminton court. This is one badminton court. Very complete in terms of facilities. Let's go up to the unit. And this will be the layout for the entire floor plate. In total, there will be 18 units serviced by 2 lift cores. And this lift core has 3 lift, 1 service lift. This one has 2 passenger lift, 1 service lift. So you have a break in the center. Here it's a double loaded corridor, and the unit seems modular. So coming up from the lift It's rather weird. Anyway, this is a 2.9 width by 2.7 meters height lift lobby, but it's very weird in terms of orientation because usually when we come out straight away they will be into the floor plate, right? But here you have this weird corner for ventilation. The same treatment goes to this corner as well, where you see it leads to nothing, it's just view. That's about it. In order to access to the floor and units, right, you need to go through this fire door to get into them. And one cool thing is by having such a design, this is actually a partition in terms of fire requirement. So different wings actually leads to different block, although it's one floor plate, but it's properly divided. So the corridor width here is around 1.8 meters. Then the ceiling height is 2.9 in a segment within the floor plate. If you look into the floor plate again, it's actually divided into 3. So that's great in terms of privacy because it makes more sense in terms of cost to build one shot, but then privacy and security always comes to play. After adding partitions of such at both ends, right, of the corridor, suddenly it gives exclusivity. So only residents who stays around this segment of the corridor will be using this space itself. So it's a little bit more control. However, you will have exposed ceiling for the corridor. It's all painted white, so it kind of blends into the overall. And this will be the unit that we're going to check out today. First of all, you will have a foyer, and the width of it is actually 1.7 meters, very nice. And this main door is actually more than 1 meter. That will be very convenient when you move things. And let's go check out the unit. So this is the layout that we're going to check out today. Type B, 969 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. Going in through the foyer, you will have a bedroom right at the side because most likely this will be a void space. Then there will be a shared bathroom right opposite the yard. This will be a small open kitchen here with the dining, then living along with the balcony. Tucked at the side, then you will have the access to 2 bedrooms, principal as well as the bedroom 2. So the 2 bedrooms here will be leveraging on the void in order to get daylight into the space, but the bedroom and the living room will have amazing views. So coming in through the door is a 921mm clearance, and right next to it, right, you will have the first bedroom already. So this room is 2.7 by 2.6 meters, and you have a window here that is connected to the void space in between both units lah. So sometimes you will see the neighbor lah. Hello. And throughout the unit, the flooring will be this tile that is 400 by 400mm, so it's a smaller one. That's why it doesn't feel as atas as I wish. Just imagine if these tiles were bigger, right? Immediately the mood of the space will be different. But anyway, right opposite then, this will be the yard space, and this was open, I think. So for privacy purposes, the owner kind of added on this. This is where you do your cleaning. But this layout is just kind of weird. Imagine this space were to be for the kitchen instead, so you get to do your wet cooking or whatsoever here. But I guess this is not meant for own stay for this particular owner. That's why you don't really require a lot of heavy cooking, maybe some Maggi mee cooking, that's all. So this wall-to-wall width here is 1.72 meters, so it didn't really feel like a corridor when you go through these spaces, but just that it's very weird when you come in, right, immediately you will have 3 doors next to you. And the last one of them will be this common shared bathroom between all users. So you have Estilo basin and Estilo WC, full height wall tiles, no shower screen, you will have water heater, but it looks like it's added on by the owner. And there's no drop for the wet areas. The gradient work by the contractor in order to ensure that water flows into the floor trap is perfectly done. Number 2, every time a person showers, the whole toilet is going to be flooded. Yeah, 2 scenarios. Anyway, you will have a window, a small one that connects to the same void. So the width of the kitchen space here is 2.2 meters, where you can accommodate your fridge. There will be a basin here, and I'm not too sure whether does this come with the unit. I don't think so. It looks like it's added on. You have the standard 5 feet wall tiles, a window that connects you to the yard. So this allows secondary daylighting. So the first primary daylighting into the yard space, then from that yard space comes into this main space again. So initially without this window, it will feel very weird, but I'm not too sure whether can you enlarge this window space or not, because I think this is actually structural. This can totally accommodate an L-shaped kitchen, and this will be your hood and hob. But once you cook anything here, it will be served very hot lah. Straight away you can serve like that. So as we are walking between the living and the dining space, right? The wall-to-wall width here of around 4 meters, ceiling height is around 2.93 meters. It gives you a very nice space, although it's 969 square feet only. And after checking the online portal, this freehold unit now is going for 480,000 for sale, standard empty unit. And the rent for this fully furnished unit is going for around 2,000 to 2,001 on a long-term basis. Just now at the facility there, I can see some tourists. Very obvious they are not from Malaysia, and I think they are here for short stay basis. Right outside the living space, then this will be the balcony overlooking the original condition and setting of this address, which is mainly landed properties all around, right? Right at the far end, you can already see Aeon Mall there. Then in short proximity, you have one station there, but we are actually closer to the Bandar Tun Hussein station. But right in front, then you will have the cemetery. So the question is, does it bother you as an owner if you were to live here and knowing that the cemetery is just there, or you choose to just look away from, yeah. Anyway, the width of the balcony is 930 mm. You will have steel handrails. Then this will be the location for all the aircon compressors. Moving on, I like that there's a small little corner before going into relevant bedrooms. This will be bedroom 2. The switch position is kind of weird. It should be on this side because like it's just not convenient. Last but not least, this will be the principal bedroom, and wow, it's as wide as the living room, and that would be the bathroom. In fact, after measuring, this wall-to-wall width is 4.13 meters. It's actually 130 mm longer than the living room space. That's why I like the integration of the work-study space in front, but I'm just not very sure on the productivity of that. Like every time you work, you look at the bed, right? How to work. Anyway, then you have these amazing panels of windows overlooking to the views. And it's now time for sound check. So it's now open. Can you really hear the traffic noise? A little bit. Train noise. A little bit, right? But after you close it, very good. And I really like this little detail here for people to actually just put in an open shelf if budget is very tight, or you can just include it a built-in cabinet, and it's dedicated, so it's very nicely thought through. And after putting in a bed, right, you look at the amount of circulation space you have. Wow. So moving on, this will be the principal bathroom, and look at the switch here. So flat and cute, right? Also, based on the wiring works, right, a lot of aircon units were not included in the initial package. So from the commercial area, from the lobby, right, walk out is less than 2 minutes. And just walking around here, it's actually shaded, so that's nice. So in case of rainy days, right, you will be fine, at least it's dry. And looking at the panel floor lightings, I think the frequency of them is pretty close, so it will be well lit during the night or evenings. And just check out the amount of cars. Now there's not enough car parks already. Wow. From the lobby, walking out is less than 7 minutes. We are already almost to the train station already. Now we are in a very long escalator going over to the main station site. The question then, do you consider this TOD? Because usually TOD is all built in, right? But this one pretty close because you have the commercial, you have the train station, but just that it's not as integrated. But now you have all the walkway and all. I think it's fine, and for the price that you're paying, right, I do see why the demand of space is good. Walkways are also very wide, it's very comfortable, and if you were to live here, right, you don't really need to have a car. So for the first three things I really like, number one, definitely the integration of Bandar Tun Hussein on MRT station, because that just sets this project apart from the rest that you see across this location. So by having a MRT integrated to the property, right, that really adds a lot of selling point in terms of connectivity and the convenience element to all the residents, because they don't really need to have a car in order to live here. Now, in terms of pedestrian experience, is also very friendly, and with all the commercial lots as well provided in the project, it's sufficient for living. And usually these are people that are here temporarily in the city, and within a few stations away they get to reach TRX or KLCC area, which is the main commercial hub of the city. You guys can totally consider, because the entry price is also very friendly, which is point number 2. So the unit just now that we visited, the Type B, right, 900 over square feet, the owner bought that at 470,000 net, and the rent can actually cover for now. But the owner also shared that they kind of did a lot of corporate deals where corporations are renting this unit for 3 months, 6 months kind of period, and the return has been amazing for them. Why would they want to rent this place? In my opinion, right, there are so many other locations. The main selling point will be value for money and the convenience that they have. That's why during research work, right, when you guys are picking on one unit to invest in, when you compare projects, you need to really think about comparison between a TOD versus a TOD as well, because there are a lot of buildings around Cheras-Kajang area. There'll be like 10 to 20 brand new ones coming up. How do you then compare? The main criteria would be accessibility to this track. The last thing I like will be the architectural treatments, surprisingly, because I didn't know the price until I go into the unit and check the property portal. It feels way higher than that price due to this treatment to the entrance lobby, lift lobby, facilities deck, and the very smart partition of the very long corridor. That's my favorite of all. So when you come out from the lift, right, the entire floor plate, although it's very long in terms of corridor, it's actually separated into 3 segments using the utilities as the boundary. That was very, very smart, because that actually just partitioned out into portions. Then users will feel way more private, they will feel way more secure. Originally an 18 unit floor plate now becomes 6. Wow, very good right? And just so happen this unit is located in a higher floor, that's why the 2 bedrooms are well lit. For lower units one, then I don't think it's going to work. Frontage of the unit, I love it. So the principal bedroom is around 4 meters, the living room is actually 4 meters, so the frontage feels very, very nice. But of course, there are some things that I also don't like. Within the unit itself, the first thing I don't like will be the layout design of the yard versus the kitchen. That's weird, right? Instead of that, can you just not have the yard? I actually think that without the yard, the unit will look way better when the kitchen directly have access to the outdoor space, and the kitchen can actually be pushed out a little bit more. The entire space will definitely look way more spacious. Yeah, if I'm the designer, I would actually just take out the yard space altogether, integrate the washer and dryer into the kitchen space itself. And the shortcoming for this portrait type of layout, where you have only the principal bedroom and the living to enjoy the facade. In this arrangement, the developer gets to squeeze in more units per floor plate. It actually brings down the unit price. Just so happen this is the high floor, like mentioned just now, the 2 bedrooms enjoy better lightings. But on a low floor unit, right, they will definitely suffer. Luckily, the aircon compressors are located in the balcony space facing outwards instead of facing inwards into the void. If not, all the bedrooms downstairs will suffer even more. Then for the lift lobby space, that 2 corner bits of lighting, right, that's also weird. That's a very weird layout where you have a fire escape entrance that looks amazing. What for? It's actually wasted opportunity. Like that frontage, I could have easily just put in another unit or 2. Then in terms of the main entrance to the unit itself, from a visitor, it's fine, where I can just park and I access the entrance lobby that is located behind, because the front ends are all shop lots, right? And that also leads to the second thing, which is the access that is located at the back. Yes, it's a little bit more private. It's great that I would also do so, but the problem with that is you need to drive through the main shops first before getting to access the entrance at the back. What if the commercial areas are very prosperous? That is going to be a problem. And for this project, it's a little bit more peculiar also because of its direct connectivity to the train station. Now you can see you will need to pay for car parks by parking your car within this secured location. It's going to cost a fee. But even you pay also, it doesn't really guarantee you a spot. So what is going to happen? A lot of people will rent the car park within the unit, then get the access card to access it. So that might also create some social problems as well. So from a resident's point of view, right, there will tend to be some hiccups here and there if the security measures are not in place. Last of all will be the micro site elements. So you have the main highway right at the front. It's a 5 to 6 lane kind of way, right? But with that, congestion still happen. If you need to travel to KL, right, taking the train is seriously way faster. But if you need more mobility, unfortunately, you need to go through the traffic light that is congested ever since we reached here. It didn't settle at all. Then right behind the side, you will have the cemetery. If you are a little bit more sensitive to it, please be informed. And the surrounding is very old. It's in other words mature, so you will have the right amenities that you need. But I do see a lot of empty lands still. So they are going to be canvas for upcoming projects in case these kind of properties excel and perform. Guess what? New blocks are going to come out more and more, and that's happening within this Cheras-Kajang area, especially around the route of this highway and train station. Competition is crazy within this area. Easily, like we mentioned, 10 to 12 new projects coming up. If you include just newly launched, it's even worse. And I guess that's all for this round. Shout out to Hatana Girl for showing me the unit. Very inspiring to see a mother of 3 hustling, trying to provide for the family, also trying to educate the public about real estate. And do I like this project? I think for an investment, it's not bad. For own stay, this location is not for me. And I guess that's all for today. If you really like this episode, like it, share, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.